Hello, everyone. This is Rev Brad on the Soccer Chaplains United podcast from the Touchline. Today's podcast is part of our Lesson from Lasso series, so if you're short on time, when you hear that Ted Lasso theme song, you can skip ahead a minute and get right into the pod. Apple TV's Ted Lasso show has been very popular, and a lot of what we see on the screen gives a glimpse of life at a football club. Being around a professional team for some 25 years, I thought I would offer a chaplain's perspective on some of what we see in each episode. There are some great lessons to be learned, whether you're a person of faith or not. You might be an athlete, a coach, or simply a fan of the beautiful game. I think you're going to find a lot of clever and creative wisdom in this series. Thanks for joining us today. Here we go with another lesson from Ted Lasso.
He's found the space, and he's found the back of the net.
Just a little off foot, thinking he's going to go far post. Not strong enough with his right hand.
Whips that one in. Far post, almost made him ends, and they have. He has the hat-trick. The second in his career. The third of the night. The hat-trick hero.
Talked about you're not going to be able to sustain that kind of pressure.
To the corner. Goes towards the near post. And you're the angle, and what a goal! What a goal!
Way back in Lesson 27, I talked about truth-telling, the kind, grace-filled, compassionate type. But here in Lesson 50 from our Lessons from Lasso, there's another type of truth-telling that we see exemplified in Episode 7 as Nathan, otherwise known as Nate the Great, stands before the team prior to their match against Everton and delivers the team talk. Nathan, or Nate, delivers a string and sting of harsh personal critiques in an effort to draw out the better competitive side of particular athletes he calls out. And all of this with the approval of head coach Lasso. Now, Nathan's delivery and suggestive digs at people isn't necessarily the type of truth-telling that I'm encouraging, but it's more about what I like to call courageous truth-telling. You know, those moments of delivering a hard word to someone that just seems like it's unlikely to go well any way you slice it. Well, there's a great example of this in the Bible. Let me share the story with you. Here's the backdrop. David, king of Israel, he's eyeballed one of his best friends and warrior's wife, Bathsheba. He sees her, she's beautiful. He goes, calls her, sleeps with her, and then he has his buddy killed. His name's Uriah. When he can't get Uriah to get in and somehow be close to his wife to kind of cover up what he's done, David takes some deceiving and dastardly steps to have him killed in battle. So then David, being the kind guy that he is, takes Bathsheba as his wife after the death in sort of this kingly sympathy move. But God knew David's actions and intentions, and God was pissed. God sends Nathan. Now, I'm not making this up. Nathan, the prophet Nathan, to King David. As a prophet, Nathan's the kind of guy, he's like a pastor or chaplain of the day, and God has revealed to Nathan what David has done. So, Nathan goes in. I'm wondering what Nathan was thinking as he approaches the king. But Nathan begins with a story. There were two men in a city, one wealthy, the other poor. One had a huge amount of sheep and livestock. The other one had only a single ewe lamb, but he loved this lamb like a member of his own family. A traveler comes to stay with the wealthy man, but instead of providing for the traveler from his own resources, the wealthy man takes the ewe lamb from the poor man and makes a meal of it, literally. David hears this story, and he gets angry. As surely as the Lord lives, this man deserves to die. He must pay for that lamb 4 times over because he did such a thing and had no pity. You are the man, Nathan tells David. You are the man. Oh boy. If there's ever a moment in the Bible where you want to be but don't want to be a fly on the wall, I think this is one of them. Nathan then goes on to bravely tell David what will happen to him as a result of what he's done with Bathsheba and Uriah. You can read more of this story in 2 Samuel chapters 11 and 12, but here's the point. Do we have anyone in our lives like a Nathan? Not Nate the Great, but the prophet Nathan, who will boldly speak the truth of us to us? Or do we merely have a bunch of yes people around us? You know what I'm talking about. I've seen it many times in the game of football. The superstar athlete has everyone in the locker room just saying what that person wants to hear. Or their entourage are all the yes people that just say whatever just so that they can get fed a little bit more, or they can have the popularity or notoriety. Oh, head coaches, they're part of this too. Coaching staff are just trying to appease or brown nose or butter them up. Or maybe it's an executive, and they're so powerful in their position that all they have around them are cowering colleagues and minions who only defer to them all the time. The truth is, we need Nathans who speak the truth, who tell us when our game is poor, who tells us when our hearts and spirit are lacking, who calls us out when we lie and cheat and cut corners, who boldly deliver a word of truth when everyone around us is just lying to us or lets us continue blindly on down a wrongful path. So superstar athlete, listen to me. Coach, listen to me. Executive, hear me out. Owner, listen up. If you don't have someone willing to lay down their life, their job, their friendship to tell you the truth or to confront you on something, if you don't have that person in your life, in your circle, you have a real problem. Because when, not if, but when you find yourself in that place, when the people are rioting and calling for your head, or the police come knocking on your door, or anywhere in between the points of any two extremes, you'll find all those yes people you've surrounded yourself with simply turning on you or looking to save their own skin, and no one will come to stand beside you on a difficult day. Make sure you have a truth teller. Make sure you empower that person to speak boldly into your life in the areas and the times and spaces when you need to be called to account for something. Well, thanks for listening to this lesson from Ted Lasso. This is Reb Brad coming to you from the touchline.